Alright, let's do this one last time. My name is Christian Valera. I was bit by a radioactive spider. Spent 10 weeks in bed.
Oh God.
Found out I didn't get any powers from it.
What?
I got really depressed and started drinking. I flew a plane, went to the Vatican, met the Pope, found a time machine, and fought dinos. And ever since then, I've been the only Christian Valera.
Let's talk about Into the Spiderverse. Welcome back, everybody, to another Myers Opinion, and I'm bringing out some new toys today. I got my official camera recording today's little review, and I'm gonna try my little microphone. It's different because now I have to make sure I'm aiming this at myself and not just rambling, so this will let me be more focused. I've got to now pay attention when I speak, alright? But we're talking about Into the Spiderverse today, alright? Before I jump into everything though, but let's give a synopsis for the people that possibly haven't seen this yet. Don't know why you haven't, but hey, I don't judge. Let's get into the synopsis. Teen Miles Morales becomes Spider-Man of his reality, crossing his path with 5 counterparts from other dimensions to stop a threat for all realities. Okay, yeah, so that's the synopsis. That's a very vague synopsis, and it's who the hell writes these things? I'm actually really curious about it. Like, you have the disaster artist that has like a whole paragraph, or The Room, I think it was, that has like a whole paragraph. And I guess it makes sense for those movies because it's those movies, but for this it's 2 to 3 sentences, just synopsis. Boom, bing bang boom, it's done. Let's see how it goes over covering the story though. That's a pretty vague and good description without any details. Let's get into the story for it though. People have been clamoring for Miles Morales ever since he hit the page. Is that a thing to say? Is that what you say about comics when they hit the page? People fell in love with Miles. Okay, you need to understand that. That's half of the success for this movie is that story. Like, one of the great things about the fact that it's a Spider-Man story is just like anything with Spider-Man. It's great because they all kind of follow the same beat, but there's differences in each of their stories. Like for this story, the Peter of his reality, the ultimate universe, he dies. So Miles takes over as Spider-Man, and then he gets mentored by. Is it the Sam Raimi? I feel like it's the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. It's not. It's the cinematic versions of Spider-Man, but instead of it being Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland, they're actually all the same person somehow. That's that Peter Parker. That's all that over there. He gets to teach Miles how to be Spider-Man, and in turn also learns things about himself. And then you gotta throw in Spider-Gwen to keep things interesting. You gotta add Spider-Man Noir, Penny Parker, and SpiderHam, and they all gotta join together to stop Kingpin for destroying reality because he misses his family so damn much. You're gonna destroy your reality, okay? Not no Thanos shit, not where half of the universe is gone. I mean everything. This thing is closed, okay? It is not opening up again, and you're gonna do that for your family. Like, I understand, but if I have to weigh the universe for my family, I'm not gonna answer that question. But the story was nice because it was unique, but still kind of the same. Still loses his uncle, who's a villain, by the way. Still stumbles and falls when becoming Spider-Man, and then eventually learns what it is to be like Spider-Man, because it helps that everybody else is there too to help cheer him up. And how those are more for his actual character, but for the story-wise, the story is different, it's unique, but it still kind of follows the same thing, so you can kind of tag along. Not everything is so much the same because you don't want to have every single character who plays Spider-Man have his parents die and then have their uncle die as well. Like, it's not all the same, but they follow certain beats to it, alright? And that's special. Anybody can be Spider-Man. Anybody can be Spider-Man. But we're gonna jump into the characters for this movie now, okay? We're gonna start with the frontrunner himself, Miles Morales.
Why are you so sweaty?
It's a puberty thing. I don't know why I said that.
Bruh. Miles is that dude you want to fucking be, okay? Miles is that nigga right there. That's who Miles is, okay? He's Mr. Calm, cool, and smart, all right? He knows what's going down. He knows what's up.
but he still plays it smart. He still plays it cool. He could be in the middle of a shitstorm, and this guy will still be like, I know what I'm doing. That like Spider-Man kind of charisma. He's got it. He's got it. I respect that. I fucking respect that. I'm envious, but I respect it. But on top of that, because of his character as well, because for those that don't know, Miles is also half black and half Latino. Okay, so already there you have people that can kind of like, oh shit, like he's kind of like me. All right, that's special to have that. It's very special to have that, because then people are gonna be like, I relate so much more now. Okay, my mom speaks Spanish. What? This is like me. Not everybody has that. Not everybody thinks that, but it does occasionally happen. Okay, and when it does, you can see a big ass grin on people's faces, man. But not only that, there's differences as him as Spider-Man as well. Because not only just web swinging and shit, now he can actually turn invisible and have electric webs, or just have an electric part of his body overall. So that gives him a bit of a difference, and also kind of like a leg up amongst all the other Spider-Men. I'm looking at you, Peter. I'm sorry. But as a character, Miles is a solid A+. He gets a thumb up for me, okay? He gets thumbs up. Now it's time for the next character, Peter.
All right, let me tell you the good news. We don't need the monitor.
So, this Peter Parker has been Spider-Man for a lot longer. He's gone through a hell of a lot of shit. And I mentioned this in my commentary track. Peter got beat by life so hard that if he wasn't Spider-Man, sadly to say, I feel like with like anybody else who's been hit and then hit that low point and not have anything to fall back on, things would get really depressing, like really depressing. Despite all the shit he has to deal with, I feel like at a degree he's happy that he can still be Spider-Man and save people, because he's still giving it a positive impact on life, even if life is completely taking a turd on him. Don't get me started on the shit he has to deal with. Divorced Mary Jane, lost his investments, just not that fucking like, it's just not happening for him, all right? And then he gets pulled into another dimension, and meeting Miles just changes his life apparently. At least his love life, which at the end of the day is what matters. But for Peter to take a mentor type of role, I can't say I really have. It's usually been Peter under somebody's wing, with coming to learning how to be a hero, or just like learning how to figure himself out. It's always been him under somebody, never him above and being like, let me show you how to do this right. On top of that, having everybody else help as well. This was new and this was interesting for sure. You get to see Spider-Man as kind of like an adult now. He's still quippy, but it's not so childish. He's just like, he's a grown-ass man now. He had a divorce with his wife, bro. Like, they argued about having kids, and he lost investments. Like, real people, big people, adult shit. Like, you have to, like, finances, security, all this stuff. You just gotta, like, fuck, this isn't working. Damn, Peter. Damn, Peter. To not ramble, though, anymore, Peter's also a solid character, because he's pushing Miles. He's hesitant to help him, like every single fucking mentor is. Hesitant, but then gives in, and then ends up having a soft spot for the person, and then discovers something about himself or herself that they never saw there before because of mentoring, and then they take that with them, and then there's suddenly a whole new person. Everybody has a character arc. Well, maybe everybody. We'll see. Not everybody, though. But Peter has a character arc in this shit, too. He gets another thumbs up as a character. He does another thumbs up. The third character out of this squad, Spider Squad, Spider-Gwen.
Hey, ma'am, we'll take care of that bread right now.
See, now Gwen Stacy's also got a different story, and this blew my mind. Okay, I did not know, like, this is where, like, the Spider-Man mythos gets different for me, because, like, I'm not gonna be stupid. I haven't really read the comics to the extent most people have when it comes to Miles or Gwen, hell, even Peter. I know Peter to an extent, but I don't know it like my friend Matt Ford does. Check him out, Spider-Bite. When I found out that Peter was the lizard, I lost my shit, because I was like, wait, Peter being a fucking villain in somebody else's story? What the fuck? Like, what? That's how I reacted. That's how much that shook me to the core. God damn it, these stories are so fucking interesting, dude. Like, I want to go now and be like, buy some of these comics and just read them just to find out, but don't have the money. But that's besides the point. Gwen is a character. See, Gwen is a badass. Okay? I fuck with Gwen Stacy. She's a badass. She's a hard badass, bro. She came for the rescue for Peter and Miles, webbed them both up, took the fucking hard drive, knocked the hell out of Doc Ock, and said, what's up, boys? She's a badass through and through. She's a great character, and I might have maybe brushed over it more than some other people that have an opinion about her has. But for me, like, she's super smart. She kicks ass, and she's a great friend to have. She's so chill, dude. She's just, for her little Skrillex haircut, she's chill, bro. Okay, and she gets another thumbs up as a character for me. Let's see. Now for the next character, it's going to be Penny Parker.
Hi guys. Konnichiwa. Hajimemashite. Yoroshiku.
So for Penny, I actually had to do, like, I was actually generally interested in Mech Gundam Spider-Man. I looked it up and I was curious about, like, who the hell this person is, because, like, I've never heard of this type of Spider-Man before. I did some research, I looked it up, and it's like Spider with missing the E, and it's like a mech suit, and then there's a whole other thing where it's like somebody who has another mech suit, but they lost their fucking mind and they became Venom. I was like, this is actually kind of cool. What the hell? Penny from the comics and Penny here look completely different, at least from what I've seen. Maybe I looked at the wrong comic. It was pretty fucking cool. Penny, though, in the movie, I have to say, she shows up and she's just trying to get back home, just like everybody else, but she's not given too much to do. It's just like, oh, she's also from a different universe, and we're gonna add her to the movie, you know, to just show, like, the different areas and the different corners of the Spider-Man mythos that are existing. And look at these characters. Look at all these different Spider-Man type of things. Like, isn't this interesting? Isn't this fucking amazing? Yes. Yes, it is. In the context of this movie, though, Penny doesn't do too much. It's just she's there and she's trying to get back home, and she's there to also lend a hand. Not doing too much. Kind of just a background character. You do have some lines here and there. You're pretty cool. Your animation style's dope. I'm gonna get into the animation later, though. But as a character, she'll get a, yeah. Okay. Then the next one is SpiderHam.
It can get weirder. I just washed my hands. That's why they're wet. No other reason.
It's kind of the same thing for SpiderHam. I did read about this a long time ago, back when I was still in school, and with the Marvel Bros. Shout out Students of S.H.I.E.L.D. I do remember reading about how there was, like, this whole universe where there's the Pet Avengers, or where, like, everybody who was an Avenger or just every famous superhero was also an animal, and then that Spider-Man was a spider that got bit by a pig and became a pig. That's, like, headache-inducing. What? SpiderHam, his character, though, kind of fits in the same bill. SpiderHam he's funny, he has his moments, but he's just kind of there as well. This is another person that we pulled out of the Spider-Man mythos that's really interesting. Check it out. Not live action, that's not live action. In a movie. Bam. Alright, but then we can't forget the granddaddy. We can't forget the badass of the troop, besides Gwen. Spider-Man Noir.
This is a pretty hardcore origin story.
See, now, alright, I wanted to save him best for last because he gets the gold star in this for me, at least. I remember when the movie was being advertised and marketed, and they did kind of like a behind the scenes for each, like, Spider-Man character. And when it came to Spider-Man Noir, I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. But this voice sounds familiar. Who the hell is this? I'm really curious. Who the hell is this? And then it's just Nick Cage. Hi, I'm Nick Cage, and I am playing Spider-Man Noir in Into the Spiderverse. I was like, Nick fucking Cage. Why is this like a pleasantry? Like, I think I hate this guy, but he's okay as an actor. He's mostly just funny as an actor. But I'm like, I kind of like this casting. I think it's pretty dope, no lie. And, like, whenever he spoke or whenever he did some shit, I was like, okay, Nick Cage, okay, I see you as a voice actor. You're doing pretty good, man. I like it. I like the voice, like the casting. So as him as a character, I have to place my bias here. I understand there's a bias. He gets a thumbs up, okay? Not a thumbs up. He gets a gold star. He's my favorite of the movie just because it's like, yeah. Hey, it's Nick Cage playing Spider-Man Noir. This works perfectly. Why? Why does this work so well? So now the villains are also a different twist, at least as far as I can tell. Not so much with Kingpin. Kingpin is still pretty much the same. Doesn't have his wife or his son. I don't know if that's canon to all of Spider-Man. You could see, like, how much I really know and what I don't really know about Spider-Man. I'm sorry, Matt. Please don't hate me. I have to say, though, really, with the only villains, because Tombstone was in it, Doc Ock, Kingpin, Prowler, Scorpion. Scorpion did surprise me. He was a fucking Scorpion cyborg, dude. That's fucking sick. I want to see some more of that. Prowler. Olivia Octavia stuff did fucking surprise me. That shit was hidden so well, because when you watch the movie a second time and you see her on the projector, they purposely hide her name. It just said, I think it just says Olivia and then stops, but even then, like, it's not like nothing you catch the first time. I never went looking into this thing because I'm like, oh, it's this background footage of a science class like you see in almost all the movies where they're just like, hey, pay attention. This is important. And so you don't pay attention. But then this time it's actually important. It's a little like, keep your eyes open. She's gonna show up soon. Just keep your eyes open. I liked her twist though. I really did like her twist. And the fact that she doesn't have mechanical arms, but instead the inflatable tubes, like the inflatable men you see at car shows, that that's still pretty fucking cool. It sounds silly, but it looks so cool in action. It works. It fucking works. Villains are another Bro, the animation though. There's a reason why this won a fucking Oscar. Oh my goodness gracious. The animation was wonderful. It was beautiful. And it was done with so much detail that it fucking rocks, man. Look, not only did Miles, Gwen, and Peter, they all got the same type of animations, right? But because the other ones came from a drastically different universe, you have Penny, who looks like a Japanese fucking anime, bro. Okay, she looks like an anime character and maneuvers and does everything just like anime does. The detail, I love it. And then you have Spider-Man Noir, who looks like he came out of a pop comic. Fucking love it. And then you have the animation's pretty close. I don't know if is it Hanna-Barbera? Is the Looney Tunes? No, Warner Brothers. Looney Tunes is Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is owned by DC. Sony ripped off Warner Brothers, and they got an Oscar out of it. Fuck you, DC. No, I'm just playing. That Warner Brothers Looney Tunes type of animation for SpiderHam as well, with the sound effects and the way he does shit, is just like the cartoons. If you're into animation, that made you happy alone. That detail of separation between the different characters to show how far they really are different from each other, but then how they're still similar, like Spider-Man. Should I just drop the mic here? Like, this animation was wonderful, dude. Okay? This movie was built for success. I give it to you, Sony. You guys have finally done something good. Besides the Raimi trilogy. Okay? Hell, I'll even throw Spider-Man 3 in that bitch because it works. I respect it. Animation, double thumbs up. I don't know why, but that really hurt. So, the soundtrack for this movie. Now, I didn't hear every single track for it, and I'll be honest, I still haven't. I didn't really, like, hear too much of the songs as like, oh shit, it's that song besides Sunflower. I was like, wow, it's that song, yo. It didn't take me out of the movie, but it did work, at least for my taste. It did work for the movie because I didn't get taken out from it like how you usually would. Like if you hear like a Green Day song come on in a movie, you're like, oh shit, it's Green Day, right? Like you'll be thinking about like, oh, it's the band or it's the musician playing the song and it's in the background of the movie. Let me think about the musician, not the movie. This is kind of the opposite, where I was just like, I didn't really hear too much of the musician. I didn't really hear any of that, besides like, oh, in the context of this movie, okay, I'm feeling this, okay. I kind of understand. I respect it. It's nothing like Black Panther's fucking soundtrack, alright? I'm just laying it out there. If you don't agree, that's cool. It's alright. We're Americans. But that is my full review there. And if we had to tally this, like I usually do, even though it's kind of meaningless, but you get to see how I feel about a movie. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. What am I going to give it? I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
That's all, folks.
Is he allowed to say that? Legally?
Oh, Chris, that might be way too high, man. You're putting all these really mediocre movies a little too high.
This is not mediocre. Nobody said this was mediocre, so I don't know why the fuck I said that, but is this movie on the level of Shrek? There's a debate that could be put there. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm giving this bitch a 9 because it's that fun of a movie. It's a really good movie to watch. And it's just good overall. It's a good story and a good Spider-Man story on top of that. On top of everything else that's great about it. Put on top. Okay? If you haven't seen this, check it out. If you have seen this, wasn't the movie great? But yo, I'll leave it at that. Okay, if you like this review, please like, comment, subscribe, share it with some of your friends or someone that you know or someone that you don't know or someone that you hate, just to get at them because you're like, watch this bitch. And ring the bell if you want me to keep entertaining you, okay? Peace out.